Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Art Coaching Club podcast. My name is Haley White, and I am an artist, a business coach for artists, and the owner of the online art gallery, The Scouted Studio. I am so excited to talk to all of you today because I'm talking about a tool that I think will really help a lot of you when it comes to selling more of your artwork. And who doesn't love that? So I want to talk about Art Helper AI, what exactly it is, how you consider using it, and how it might really help you make more money. But before I get into that, I want to share a little bit about storytelling. Like I say, you need to storytell, you need to tell the story of your work, you need to connect with your clients, all of that good stuff. But I think so many artists then say, great, Haley, I feel like I'm telling a story and no, it's not resonating, or what exactly does that mean? Or I don't have a story to tell. First off, your story that relates to your artwork doesn't have to be some crazy life-changing story. Totally can be, but I always give the example of my reading girls. The story I told was I like to read, and I reinforced that over and over and over again. Basically told the world I am a reading girl. You can be a reading girl too, and you can purchase a reading girl. I mean, it's not that deep, but it's that idea of digging in again and again and again and doing so across platforms. And that's what I want to get into today because I'm a big believer in doing one platform well and then building on. But now with this new tool, Art Helper, you can actually take your work and put it on many platforms with the touch of a button. So let's quickly talk about storytelling. Let's get you kind of primed up for that idea. And then let's talk about how Art Helper can help you do this. So what I want you to do and what I want you to think about when it comes to telling your art story, I want you first to think about you as a person. What are you interested in? Why are you creating the work you're creating? I mean, the story itself might just be the story of you as an artist. Then you need to also think about your work. So what is the work about? Again, why are you creating it? Is there a deeper meaning? And it might be something like I paint the ocean because I look out my window and it's there, or it was a happy place growing up, or I think it's so beautiful and it brings me joy. Then you connect that to your client and you say, and it can do the same for you. You can have the same reaction. It's just about sharing that story and connecting them with the client. So it's figuring out there's a reason you are creating it, and then how can you connect that to your customer? And once you have that, for me, it happened, and for most of you, it's going to happen really organically, but you just have to be cognizant of it and aware that you're trying to tell a story. So once I figured out, I have these reading girls. So once I figured that concept out, I thought, okay, how can I tell this story over and over and over again? So that means not just on Instagram. Specifically, please send your emails out. I mean, I was reading my email newsletter in my Substack, in my Instagram, on my TikTok, and on Pinterest. I might be forgetting a platform, but I really was hammering this idea home everywhere through sharing books. I did my photo shoot in a library. And a lot of this stuff I was already doing. I was already sharing book recs. I was already doing all of these things, but I will say it was a lot of work. It was a lot to keep up with. It was a lot to remember to mention something on the podcast and then follow up with Pinterest and then put it in my Substack and then post it on social media while also running multiple other Instagram accounts. It's a lot. So that's what I want to get into today. If you're feeling like, oh my gosh, Haley, great, I want to talk about Art Helper. So I'm going to overwhelm you for just a minute and share everything Art Helper can do as of today. And it's, they're constantly adding more things that it can do. But let's just start off with some of the things it can generate. Social posts, product descriptions, full blog posts, product titles that are SEO friendly, emails about a new piece of artwork, an artist statement, a custom social post so you can kind of put it in your own style with custom rules. It can help you find Facebook groups to share and promote your artwork. It can help you find Reddit groups. It can create a full Etsy listing, an Etsy title, an Etsy listing description, listing tags. It can create a new collection email. It can create an email about a show or an event, an email with tips, an email with the sales announcement, a sale announcement, a narrative LinkedIn post. It can help you price your work. It can come up with a marketing plan for you. It can come up with a Zapplication description. It can come up with Facebook ads, a blog outline, a fact generator for your website. It can come up with SEO keywords, do an art analysis, a romance email to nurture and engage your audience, come up with Reels ideas, hooks generator, Instagram bio, a loan agreement for temporarily loaning artwork to an exhibitor, get complimentary wall colors and act as an interior designer around your artwork. It can help you come up with ideas for new pieces. It can come up with listings on art storefronts because this is created by the bigger parent company Art Storefronts, which is great for artist websites. It can come up with work in progress, social media posts, thank you emails, and even Instagram hashtags. And I'm sure this is just some of the things that I'll be able to do more and more in the future, but what a start. So what I want to tell all of you, if you're somebody who's, again, like, this sounds great, this sounds overwhelming, I don't know where to begin, and I don't want to lose my voice, I always say start with just playing around. And so figuring out, what can this do? What capabilities would help me? Like, I personally love the Room mockup tool just because I think a lot of people use one Room mockup generator, and I think it starts to look repetitive on Instagram, whereas this I find is something new, it's fresh. So I love that. This, a tool that's going to help me expand my horizons. I'm not someone who's like, great, I'm going to sub it out and it's going to do all of these things for me. Instead, I think about, what am I uniquely good at and what do I uniquely enjoy? So I personally love writing my own Substacks. I love being creative on my personal Instagram and occasionally on my other Instagrams as well. But sometimes I need a little help filling in the gaps, being more consistent on those platforms. I also think something like this could be really great for Pinterest, where numbers is a little bit more of a priority. Numbers and SEO is more of a priority than like your personal touch, because it's not as like caption based as some of these other platforms in terms of like putting the personal touch on it. So I think it's important to ask yourself, what are you uniquely good at, and continue to do that, because you do want to have that personal touch. You want to feel like it's coming from you. And this tool is great because it does learn your voice and it's going to get better and better. That being said, that's not me recommending you download this tool and then have it just do everything for you. Start small, start having it fill in the gaps of the things that you aren't doing right now or that you think you could do better because they're not your skill set, and then build from there. Because the basis of storytelling, getting back to that concept, and the basis of marketing is people want to know you. And I think more now than ever, these founder first brands are so important. You'll see big brands everywhere are having their founders, their CEOs, the minds behind the madness coming to the forefront of the brand because people connect with people. And so we're seeing that more now than ever. And I think that's something you can really lean into. So you need to show up, and leveraging tools like this is wonderful because it can enhance your own voice. It can allow you to show up as yourself in more places. But I also think having your own touch on the things that you feel like you're uniquely good at is important. So if you're like, oh, I'm hilarious, I make the best memes ever, and then I dump them on Pinterest and Instagram, like, keep doing that. Don't outsource that to something that doesn't have that comedic touch. But if you really struggle with coming up with SEO, all these things I mentioned, or like a product title, a product description, like, I have no problem with you outsourcing that to something like this that's going to help you do it, or do it faster, better, generate longer captions, all that good stuff. So I'll give the example. I love creating Reels. I love creating stuff for my personal Instagram, the Art Coaching Club Instagram. Love getting creative with that stuff. I don't do such a great job when it comes to captioning. I find it, I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. And it's ironic because I love writing. Like, I love writing my Substack, but that's long form. These like short form caption that I feel like reiterates what I just said in a reel just does not click in my brain. That is something I would definitely use this for. I would also definitely use this for Pinterest. Definitely use this for maybe even like blog outlines. Again, I love to write, so I think an outline would be helpful for me. I don't think I would want to take away the voice of me writing. But again, to each their own. You need to figure out and play around with this and figure out what makes sense for you. And a couple of things that I think I haven't even considered yet, but it's something they offer that I'm really interested in exploring, is the things like the Facebook group finder. I don't market my work enough on Facebook, admittedly. I also know a lot more companies are using Reddit. I actually know nothing about Reddit. Again, like, I'm admitting to this, but I think those two things are really great. Like, finding Facebook groups where you could promote your work or your services. Amazing. LinkedIn is something I've explored more this year, but I'll admit I've dropped off recently just because it's one more thing on the to-do list. So again, using something like this to help me draft a LinkedIn post that leads back to like a Substack or a blog or something I put more time into feels wonderful. Etsy, I'm not currently on Etsy, but I have been in the past. I know a lot of artists on there. Something that can come up with like an Etsy title, description, listing tags, because it is a search platform as well. So you do have to think about that a little bit more. So there is so much in here, and you can go in and you can try it for free, and I'll link some things in the show notes. But you also, if you do the paid version, it's very reasonable and there's a lot you can get out of it. I mean, I think the paid version has that offering of like figuring out how to price your artwork. That's huge. The amount of like, am I going to be out of a job? Like the amount of artists I talk to about pricing your work. But there is so much in here, and I think it's just a really valuable tool and something that I have talked about for a little bit on previous podcast episodes, but it also came up with a couple of artists in the club, and we did one artist did a demo, and she was like, oh, look, it's doing this with my art and this and this. And it's just so easy to use. And you can go in and test it for free. So I don't really understand why any of you guys wouldn't just try it out, because I think it's a great tool. But I really hope this is something all of you as artists can have in your back pocket. That's why I wanted to throw this in as a bonus episode, because I think it's something I truly believe in using to make the most of your time. We are busy. We have a lot on our plates. We are running our businesses, but we're also, we're the accountants, we're the marketers, we're the social media managers. We are doing it all on top of actually creating the work. And so if we can leverage technology to help us do our job better and get back to the core tasks that only we can do, like I feel like personally, only I can create my artwork, only I can write the type of Substacks I write, only I can create certain pieces of content I create. So if I can have more time in my calendar to do those things by outsourcing the things I'm not as good at, or that are just frankly time consuming, that maybe I would give to like an assistant or an intern, if I can send that out to something like this that's a really affordable or free, depending on your plan platform, why not do it? I mean, I think a lot of you probably are bought into this, because I know a lot of you took my ChatGPT 1 and ChatGPT 2.0 workshops. So just send me a message and I'll be happy to send those to you. But this falls in line with all of that. It's like leveraging technology to make you better at what you can uniquely do yourself, so that you can continue to improve in your work. Think about the story you're telling, how it relates to your art, and how it's going to resonate with your customer. And then finally, understanding how you can leverage tools like this to outsource the part of your storytelling that doesn't necessarily need to be done by you. So I hope this was a helpful episode. I know it was a little bit shorter, but we're just throwing in here a little spicy something extra for your Thursday. Also, for those of you, just while we're here, that are subscribed to the Substack, I have some really fun posts coming out. I also am doing one group call a month for my paid Substack subscribers. So if you are a paid subscriber, you will get a private link to a Zoom call. It's kind of, consider it like an open Q&A if you've been to any of those that I've done before. And that will be exclusive for paid Substack subscribers, and then all of my club members can join as well. They're great, but that is something that if you feel like you need a little bit of extra help, you want to ask questions, and you're just ready to level up your business, like so many resources I have are free. Like the Substack is partially free. This podcast is obviously free. But if you are like, I think I'm ready to invest a little bit, the Substack is a great first step. It's $16 a month or $95 a year, which is almost half if you just sign up annually. So I think that's a good idea for those of you that are ready to take that next step. And I think it's a really good deal. Again, I create this stuff because it's stuff I wish I had when I got started, to be totally honest. So obviously I believe in it, but just like to share that for those of you that, don't know about it. I hope this was helpful. I hope this is a tool that even if you use the free version, I think there's so much in there that can be valuable for you. I hope this was interesting. Things that we have going on this week. The October Emerging Artist Show kicked off yesterday on Wednesday. So definitely check that out. Even if you are not in the market to buy artwork, just go look at it. It's beautiful. We have truly one of the best shows I think we've put together. My assistant and I were talking about it this morning. It's just such a wonderful show. Love it, doing it every year. So make sure you check out that. The club has closed, but we have some wonderful new people in it. And if you are interested in learning more about the club, you can reach out and I can add your name to the wait list for the January opening, which feels far away, but let's be real, it'll be here before we know it. And then Portugal. So my Portugal trip is happening in November. So doing all the planning for that. So all exciting stuff. We've got a lot going on over here at the Haley White Scouted Studio Art Coaching Club HQ, aka my home office that's slowly but surely coming together since I've moved. But lots going on, lots for you guys to dig into, lots of content to learn how to grow your career. So happy to be here. I haven't done one of these in a while. I definitely want to bring them more back, but I don't even have the time because I have so many incredible interviews lined up. I actually need to run because I am recording an interview in about 10 minutes. So I will let you guys go, but I hope you have a wonderful Thursday, and I will be back next Tuesday with another episode.